It's quite a special format, which is a bit new for touring car. Quite difficult for us because you need to learn new opponents every weekend.
Rubbing's racing, and that's what makes it exciting.
But of course there are limits, which is always the main concern for a race director.
Hello everybody, welcome to our next episode of FIA Insights. I'm Alexandra Legouix. We're here at Circuit Moulay El Hassan in Marrakesh, Morocco for rounds 3 and 4 of the Khumo FIA TCR World Tour. And the key thing I said there was FIA World Tour because this series has recently been appointed FIA status, which is a really big deal. And in this episode, we're going to find out a little bit more about how and why the WSC Group and FIA have joined together to create a global platform, a new future for this top-level international racing. I am now going to speak to FIA Deputy Circuit Sport Director Stuart Murray to see if we can find out a little bit more about this very exciting new partnership. So, Stuart, tell me about the concept behind this unique format of the World Tour.
Well, obviously this is something that's a bit new for the FIA. We're working directly with WSC as the promoter of the competition and the owner of the TCR technical regulations. And the idea is to take all the different national and regional championships that already exist and kind of give them a pinnacle where we can come and race with them once a year. And we take the best drivers from those national and regional series and bring them along to race alongside our professional drivers and teams for each race.
So talk to me about governance then. How do you work out the split of responsibilities between WSC and...
It's actually quite simple. In their role on this event, WSC acts as the promoter. So they are the ones in overall charge of the commercial operation and making things work for the championship from a business side. For the FIA, we look after the sporting and we look after overseeing the technical regulations to make sure everything runs safely and obviously to the regulations.
And now, who better to talk to than WSC Global President Marcello Lotti himself. Marcello, tell me, how important and how good is it for the World Tour to have FIA status?
It's very important because practically at the top of our pyramid scheduled to have an FIA championship. It means that it's really recognized that today TCR is a leader in the touring car category.
And I assume it's a ripple effect because it also affects everybody within the paddock as well, all of the drivers, the teams. It means a lot to them too, doesn't it?
Yeah, clearly. It's what all the FIA status can bring to any championship. Because in touring car category now we have this status, we have to be proud to be, and not only us, all our stakeholders, like you say, team, driver, everybody's happy.
Now it's time to catch up with Cyan Racing Lincoln Co.'s Jan Erlache. Jan, how good is it for the World Tour to have FIA status?
FIA status is very important for us. I mean, it brings back like a FIA standard, which is very good and give a lot of credibility to the championship as well. So for us as a driver, as team and manufacturers, to get FIA alongside us is quite powerful, and we are very happy to see them back.
So exciting, and presumably it has a bit of an effect and a ripple throughout everything with the atmosphere in the paddock and the grid, all the way down to the crowd that come and see it, right?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, the consistency with the FIA stewards and the standard that they bring to the championship as well, and the way the cases are judged and everything, which is much more consistent now.
The touring cars, they bring a lot of contacts, which is normal and we accept that. But of course there are limits and we need to always see the behavior and then the safety, which is always the main concern for a race director. What I need to do is report to the steward some infraction which I spotted, and then the penalty part is on them. But of course we would like always to give, if we need to give a penalty, ideally no, but if we need to give a penalty during the race, to be fair. And that needs really a quick decision. We need a quick video replay and spot properly the action to make a decision with the stewards.
What about points and scoring? Because that, I guess, will differ between the individual series and then the overall, right?
When we join an individual championship, we obviously don't want to jump in and kind of interfere with their championship, where they're maybe only sharing the grid for one round out of 10 events. So they will always have their own classification, and they will always get their own podium and score their own points as if we weren't there. But for those events, they also have the chance to get on our podium if they're able to make it up into the top 3 and for the overall. So all the drivers that take part throughout the season will score points towards the TCR World Tour, but the TCR World Tour full season drivers don't score the points in the local championships.
Actually, it's quite a special format, which is a bit new for touring car. We are mainly during the season joining a national championship, so we mix the grid with the locals, which make the task quite difficult for us, the consistent World Tour driver, because you need to learn new opponents every weekend, the driving style, the names, the guys that are quick, challenging and stuff. So it's not easy, and for us, going to tracks that we are not very used to, in the championship that they are very used to drive those kind of tracks, like when we were to Australia or when we go to South America, for example. But it's a nice format, and I think it provides some nice races as well. The guys, the locals, they have a good opportunity to show themselves as well at the highest level of touring car in the world. So I think it's a good composition of everything to get nice races.
It all certainly ensures that touring car racing continues to be competitive and exciting, right?
Well, that's the whole point with touring car. You know, people say rubbing's racing. You know, we're not driving single-seaters here where we're worried about having contact. You know, anytime a touring car comes back into the paddock and it doesn't have someone else's bodywork kind of dashed down the side of it, they haven't been trying hard enough. And that's what makes it exciting. And it also kind of shows that these cars have the strength to be able to kind of put up with the beating that the drivers give them. And that's what the fans want to see.
Well, there we go. What an interesting episode. Touring car is brilliant racing, and I think it's really clear that there's a lot of passion for it. Everyone we spoke to, Marcello Lotti, Stuart Murray, all of the drivers, they have a lot of love for the series. And I think we can safely say that it's very good that we have FIA status. It'll be really interesting to see how the series grows and where it goes from here, right? I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe. If you want to find out a little bit more about the Khumo FIA TCR World Tour, then have a look at the blurb below. Meanwhile, take care and see you next time.